Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and I'm here with the LEGO Ninjago set 30080 Ninja Glider from 2011. This isn't something I dug out of my old collection and brought back for a video because I never recorded it or something. No, this is something that I got brand new about a month ago, sealed in 2021 on the 10th anniversary of Ninjago, which I find just a stroke of luck and fantastic. And I'm happy that all the pieces and condition of everything is here because it's a really nice set. It's a nice little throwback of Ninjago and reminds me of the early years when I got really hyped about this theme. I've also had a resurgence of it over the past year, so I'm really excited to look back on some of the older stuff like this for basically the first time. This set has Zane included with it, is ages 6 to 12, 26 pieces, and had several ways of distribution. In the United States, it was available at Walmart stores in late 2011 for about $3.49. I didn't really shop that much in Walmart, so I didn't find it in the stores really at that time. I may or may not have seen it at Target once and didn't pick it up then. But I also know that in the UK, this was one of several polybags that were available as a promotional item with the magazine subscriptions to things like The Sun. So you could have picked it up any number of ways. It's a fairly common polybag. It's not too hard to build, even from your own parts in your collection. And Zane would probably be the most exclusive bit about this. But even then, he's been in several other sets at that time. So take of that as you will. Looking across the back of the polybag is your standard information about the product and also featuring a Rig the Set section with the club code REG20. They also put this on the instruction manual. I never rated these back in the day with LEGO Club online, but I don't even know if they still run those or anything similar to it because I never see them advertised anymore, whether on the sets or on the site itself. And they also advertise about the Ninjago.com mini site that goes along with LEGO. We got a fold-out instruction manual here, and it gives you very basic instructions on building everything, so it's really easy to go through. One thing I do find particularly interesting, though, is that the way they build the droid torsos for the main apparatus, in the instructions, they have the studs facing inward, whereas on the box, bag, whatever, the packaging, they show them facing outward. So I guess you can get a little bit of difference with customization of this if you want to go with one versus the other, but in general it's going to have about the same range of motion and articulation, so it's not a big deal as far as play goes. And on the back they also include a free child ticket with paid adult ticket to Legoland California or Legoland Discovery Center, standard fare for many polybags, and you could also get one of these other 2011 Ninjago sets. I personally never got any of these back in the day. I've had parts of them over time, like the Ice Dragon. I've built some of it, but not enough to make the full thing. You have the starter kit. I got some of the cards and maybe some of the pieces to go with it, but not the full set. And I always wanted this one, the temple there, because that was just a really nice looking play model. And I think it would actually pair nicely even with nowadays stuff like the Monastery Spinjitzu from the Legacy line. That would be really cool to see if that can spread out and make a larger monastery out of it. This one does also include the same Zane we see in this set. And that Zane has also been featured in a couple other sets over time as well, some other polybags even. So again, he's not incredibly rare or uncommon or anything like that, but he is very nice looking. I do like the design. The simple look of the original Ninja really stands out to me because it highlights more about their symbol and a little bit of the garb itself rather than being all over the place over the top. Having the nice like training ninja kind of feel to them. The hood piece, it was borrowed from the Castle Ninja line that preceded Ninjago. And I actually thought this was going to be some sort of revival of it back in the day. But it became its own thing and that's totally fine. However, this hood piece has been in white, black, and red, and even green in the original line. So the green one was a much more exclusive than the rest. White, a little less common than black and red, but still, they had made it already in that color. And this is a classic form of Zane's face in there as well. This garb is also really nice because it has room to fit a minifigure accessory along the back of it. I think in some of the classic Ninja sets, they had some of them where they're like hanging from a vine or something that way, or part of a building to get more of that acrobatic look to them. So you could get a lot of nice poses out of it. And I find that kind of interesting as to, including the sword here, yeah, that's fine, but can that actually work with the glider? The glider, again, is a pretty simple build, and a lot of these parts are fairly common nowadays, so there's no hard thing to try to build it again, nothing you have to go back to this exclusively for. But depending on how you fit Zane or any of the classic ninja in here, you might have to modify a few things, or just swap them around a little bit. Because you can see right here, the sword is already wanting to bend because it doesn't line up very well in the back. So you can't really hold Zane, as they show in the instructions, this way and have the sword pointing downward. In the instructions, they show that he's actually holding it in hand instead of grabbing the handlebars. I don't know. So you could just hold the sword upward, and he could be posed on there with the studs. So that could work, even though it looks a little awkward, but it still won't bend any pieces. But even more than that is the fact that these handles are here in the first place. A lot of the traditional classic ninja sets that they had from Ninjago, the Temple of Air Jitsu had a similar glider like this, and again, the Castle Ninja line, you could have just had the handlebars used with the minifigure. So let's try it again this way, and because of the the arms, we get a little of articulation with that. Okay, so it's still kind of bending the sword there, so I can't fully do that, and it looks a little uncomfortable sitting it that way. So once again, you're going to have to face this upward to just get it out of the way in general, and then you can put his hands on the handlebars, having a little bit of space next to the studs, and he can flap around. Now, these wings actually have a lot of articulation, a lot of different ways of motion with them. It's a little bit less on the bottom wings, but I don't think you're really going to move them as much as the top ones to get that sort of motion with it. So you can make it in a couple different poses and actually get a little more, ferocity with it because of that. Just going to move that bag out of the way. And theoretically, you could also just flap these pieces around so you can get other forms of flapping the wings. So you can really keep them all closed up like that if you need to store it away inside of another building or something. But yeah, fairly simple, but easy to customize, easy to move around in other ways to play with it or have it stored with other Ninjago sets. Each of these can also move back and forth. So yeah, there's a lot of different options you can do with that. That's not bad for folding it up either. And just have that stowed away somewhere. So it works well. It's a fine enough polybag for its time. It gets the job done of needing to be a glider. It doesn't need to have anything to fight against, but it could still have him maybe scouting around and keeping a weapon on hand just in case. It's a nice little polybag for its time just to get Zane in a smaller set. And I already have Zane in a couple other sets or just picking him up loosely over time. So it's not the first time I've had him, but it still looks pretty good. And it was nice to try something from back in the day as if it was, this is brand new to me as the whole set. So it was nice to try that out after 10 years of being exposed to Ninjago and knowing about the theme and getting back into it personally. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what you think about this polybag and the minifig and anything else in the review. If you'd like to check out more Ninjago reviews from the past 10 years, I've done them on my channel. And I hope to do another kind of back and forth of old stuff, new stuff sometime soon. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. If there are certain LEGO Ninjago sets you're curious about, and if I didn't review them already, you can ask me in the comments as well, or any other LEGO themes in general, because I do enjoy taking in requests of reviews and working through them over time. We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.